Welcome. How in the world do I mess up the way I do? A weird thing happened today. I couldn't even, I'm too embarrassed to even talk about it. But I guess everything's going to be okay. I mean, I got through the day, I'm hoping. I had to go see my psychologist, and again, I forgot to tell her. I always forget to tell her the most important thing, because I always get a terrible answer. So instead of getting involved in my mental health, I just sort of like, she thought I was good. I know I was good, but I feel sad when I go to bed at night. And I feel sad all day long. Is after you go 100 miles an hour for a month straight, rambling on with the videos and having the visions, I don't like to give up the visions. So I feel a little lonely without my visions. Although I can see them in an instant. I hear them all the time. Monday Night Football. Forget about Monday Night Football. They just scored a field goal, okay, for Denver, in which the Denver Broncos team is now being shown on maps of the NFL. And inside the maps of the NFL, they show Denver over Nevada, over part of Utah. I'm looking for the design right now. Anyways, irregardless of where it is, the NFL shows 4 basic stars on their logo, and then it shows the laces. But don't count the first and the last lace, because the first lace you set up, and the last lace you tie up. So in between laces of what is free, regardless of what it is. I'm not really going anywhere with this. When you look at a football field, the score of the Chicago Bear game tonight versus C&B, WB, Warner Brothers Creation, Chicago Bears. Now they want to induct into the Hall of Fame Mike M. Ditka, DMD, number 44, Barack Obama, number 44, 4x4, 4 plus 4 equals to P and H. And guess what? Apparently it was the Israelis who came up with that P and H. This is what a gentleman told me today. P and H says Phoenix. 44 says the word of the Phoenix. It just does. Why? Because 4 times 4, 4 plus 4. It also creates 24, which is B and D, which is the bead or the bed for something to do with maybe the clam. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to be a little all over the place. The water. Somebody sent me, I forget your name, Grace. I think it was you. About how they are using the water in Utah, and they need to cool the computer systems. I mean, oil doesn't cool. Oil doesn't cool. The car needs to have a radiator that cools the oil, or something that cools the oil. So what are you going to use as a liquid and a floater? I use water. They cool off the boats this way, don't they? Do they have generators in the boats, or do they cool it off by running the water inside the lake? My son's birthday, so I made him a birthday card. Doesn't say his name or anything on it, but I figured it cost me $1 for this piece, and the design cost me a little bit of time fooling around. If you want to design, we were talking about water. What do you think about this? They let 90 trillion gallons of water, okay, to run out from Lake Mead, and the sediments at the bottom, okay, acted but from some kind of energy. So it pulls down the water, pulling the air, until finally it pulls some kind of energy from underneath the ground. At the same time, it's pulling an energy from in the air. And then boom, 2 weeks later, we end up with this storm. It was something that was created. The other thing I was talking about the NFL is that they kicked a 64-yard field goal, which is a record in the NFL, and in the cold. 64 stands for 0. 64 stands for Zion. 64 stands for Israel, Mars, Saturn. 64 stands for 1, putting 3 and 4 together, AC/DC, to create 1 power, AC/DC, negative power. Why? Because O, N, and E equals 34. 3 and 4 is 7. 5 and 2 is Earth. Man is number 28. Dallas Cowboys. DC, Dallas Cowboys, scored 28 points, 7 times 4. Albert Einstein's theory. Now, if somebody comes up to me and goes, what is the Albert Einstein theory? All I can show you is the numbers, because that's what I named it, because it all repeats after what he has done. He found all the ways to control that energy by tilting the energy, tilting your suction. Instead of your suction being straight, you tilt it until you get a curve in it, in that energy. And that curve, the more you turn it, the more it's a curve. But if you turn it too much, you'll cut the energy off completely. So he kicked a 64-yard field goal. 6 times 4, 24x. 6 plus 4, 10x. So 6 and 4 create x in 2 ways. The score of the game tonight was Fox 45 for Chicago, Dallas 28 man. The total 73. The calling of Nibiru. Now, what does this all mean? I wish I could tell you exactly what it meant, but I just see the numbers are just saying to me, and if they say it to me now, and they say it to me later, and they say it to me tomorrow morning, I'm going to start to believe that number 73, because right now, all I bump into is 73, which is also 2112. Why? Because 7 times 3 makes the 21 and reverses the 12, and it also says the wings of a bird, in which Barack Obama, 4 by 4, 4 plus 4, makes up the wings of the bird. Just one little thing I want to show you. See the B? I connected this area with this area, connects this B on this angle. It also shows a W. It's almost Warner Brother. Okay? Both angles. This is 2 and 4. This is 2 and 6. Mars and Saturn. So if I calculate 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 14. If I calculate 2 times 6, 2 plus 6 equals 20. 0 equals 15 plus 2 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8. So this side will say 8 to heaven, and this side will say man and 8, meaning it's connecting both Venus and Mars into H and F. H and F, this is man. 28 would be man, and 26 would be the doghouse. 24 is the cat, caught inside here. At the same time, this is the man standing on the railway. See the corners over here? This is what the corners would be. Would have to do with Lex Luthor. Why? Because it's the Lexus signal. It also cuts off the corner. At the same time we show this, your corners get cut right over here. See the way there's points at the end? This thing can walk, and it'll make dots inside the snow. This and this are the same, except that instead of doing this, I have it this way. But if you're doing 3-letter words, 1 letter here, the 2nd letter here, the 3rd letter here, and then here. See this U? See this? It's open on the outside. This is open on the inside. The difference that you would have here, if I crisscross inside of here, if I draw a line inside of here, it'll look like this over here. See this box here on this angle? That'll be created in here. And this corners will end up to be an X. See this over here? The fox? All I did, okay, was draw an ace upside down from each other and finish it off with the L corner angle. You see the M? It's MNO, because the MNO recreate MNO inside its own letters by creating these boxes. The N, what the N does is the letters are apart. They're taken apart, the letters. You have to put a circle in the center. like a transfer point, like getting off of one train, walking through the train station, and then getting onto the next train. That's the way it has to be done. The other one is, if you're looking at football shirts and jerseys, look at the corner where the 2 is in the 5. The 5 does not have a cut corner like this, but the 2 does. That means it starts at a lower level where it's square, like on this angle over here. Yoko Ono? Oh no, on and off. Here's your N I was going to show you. O and N, N and O. Yoko Ono. The egg. Ono. DNA. Something to do with left. It just says left in DNA. Why? Because the third letter is an A. The first letter is a D for AC/DC. All you need is the letter N. The letter N is the first and fourth letter. First and fourth letter are A and D. The 1 and 4th letter together are N. It says DNA. Another word I came up with is the word lodge. Gold, G-G-O-G-O-L-D, gold. G is the 7th letter. D is the 4th letter, V is the 4th letter, O is the 6th letter, O is the 6th letter, L is number 3, and number 3, the difference is G and E, and that says electric. G and E is General Electric, and it's also the sign for next year. Lodge, the other word is terminate. Terminate. It's a term. Term in 8, a period of time to terminate. What else? We were talking about Chrome. Well, Chrome and the Montreal Canadiens both start with the first 2 letters. And I always looked at that as Creation Heaven, number 38, and also to do with Hoover Dam, something to do with the electricity from, you see, because I somehow see beneath, below, above, most likely below, because nobody ever sees below the earth, but somewhere below the earth and probably attached to us is a whole other world that we don't even know. The egg, or the chrome in Rome, Roman numerals, the Romans that were here, chrome, R and O says the golden egg. Why? Because ro is salmon eggs, and or is the oar to paddle. Or also says gold in French. Chrome, creation, heaven, a space and an area. R-O-M-E. R-O-M-E. How about meor? Meor, meow. I am the golden egg. What is it with the silver? What is it with gold inside of us? Whatever we do in this world, it is connected to us. Whatever it is connected to us. The gold is connected to us. Do they take our blood and drain it and then take the gold out of it? What goes on? Do they use it because they can use the gold as a transmitter to remake after you die? They remake one of you somewhere else in the world, but under control. All they have to do is catch that gold, whatever it is. Gold, the golden egg, the information, the silver matrix. Silver. S-I, Israel, Cisrael, slice. Israel, I-N-S, Area 51. Nissan cars, and the Hebrew month. I'm just going to go through a bunch of stuff. Familiar, at the end of it, it says liar. Have you ever seen 2 hockeys, NHL? See the way it does this? Or is it the Raiders? Mars, Earth, M-E-R, Ram, M-E, 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 5 says ace. It's also the orange ball in pool, and it stands for the sun, Mars and Earth. No other word can do this. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Saturn has an A. Uranus has an A. Together it's the 7th and 6th planet, a spirit of 76. Neptune has no A. Pluto has no A. But Pluto, and what other thing goes with Pluto? PL, Neptune. Neptune has the P. You see, all the planets will create through the letters. Now you can say, I'm off the wall, no, it makes no sense. Well, if it makes no sense, I like to show me it makes no sense. If their letter matches, something about that letter has connected the two words together. What it is and when will we figure that piece out? Everything takes time. I don't always get it right away. Here's the way we divide up the tic-tac-toe board. See this? If I take this and put it on top of this, I won't get anything. But if I put this up here, and I move, and I put this over here, 6/4, this will then turn into the S. If I put this over this, it turns into the H. If I put this over this, it becomes the X. When I connect them in the center here, this one stays on this side, this one stays on this side, this becomes the X. Nail, 3, 3, 6, 3. Nail. The numbers 2, 5, and 8, which are in the center of your phone. 2 and 5 creates your 7 worlds. 8 and 5 create your 13 worlds. And 5 and 5 create your 10 world. Your 8 and 5 is in the center. Your 2 and 5 is in the center. Your 5 and 5 is in the center. These are the only ones that do this. 360 degrees. Look at this. We're going to do 360 degrees. We go 365 days and we stop here. This is the end of the year. We go 365 days and stop here because this is 365.25. Then we go 365 again and we stop here. Then we go 365 again and we stop here. And in the 4th year we do 365 and we stop here. And that last day we go 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours, and 6 hours. Took us 4 extra petitions to recreate the last 24 hours, 6 hours each. So therefore the day must be split up into 4 different parts because they split it up within the leap year into 4 different parts and they recreated it at the end of the last year. You can go 3 years, then the leap year, then 3 more years. That'll make a total of 7. 3, 1, and 3. Otherwise you're restarting the cycle. There's other stuff. I have a deck of cards here. You ever seen the Canadians hockey or the Chicago Bears logo? Take a look. It's almost like a beak. It's almost like a beak. Canadians, the teardrop. Before I end, I always look at the teardrop as being the yin and the yang. Why? Because if you're not crying, then there's a good chance that you're happy. And if you are crying, you're getting the sentiments from within. So then you're gonna, you know the truth about life. You know what it is to be happy. You know what it is to be sad. Now, are you gonna? Not happy. There's so many more ways to do this. See this? This is the way we can recreate the letters. See the corners? See the way 3 comes into 5? We should be able to put all our letters and numbers on top of each other and they'll recreate. You see what 82 is? 82 is for man. 82 is for Neptune and Venus. It's almost like man is Neptune and Venus, and the 9 lives of the cat, there's got to be more than 9 lives of the cat, because man needs his legs, and if 2 is all the way at the top and 8 is at the bottom, Rubik's Cube is only square. You need it to be more rectangular, just like man is. Not me, I didn't build this. Man is number 28, 28 days of the moon. 2 times 8, 2 plus 8. 8, 8, and 8. 2 times 8, 2 plus 8. And we are in that right now. So what did I mention? The teardrops, the eyes of the teardrops, is also 1/2 of the heart. That's a possibility that part of us never cries. And we have to connect. We don't have to anything. But I try and I want to have my spirit understand what it is to cry. The matrix, we come into this world to teach our spirit who we are and how we can be in the next world, because that's all we are. Forever and ever, we're just continuously living some kind of life over and over and over again. And it's a little sad to think about it, that you really, if you were the smartest person in the world, you'd be the most unlucky. You want to really discover until your old age. So I'm just still looking and discovering. Anyways, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. You see, I'm a little down because my videos aren't as powerful as before, and there's still a lot of stuff I have to go over in my own head. And being my own secretary, it's hard for me to tell myself anything else. See my other picture in the background I started to do? Trying to figure out what else there is. Anyways, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for the short video.